Hello, welcome to LLG's Random But Real podcast, where you'll hear conversations about any and all things random with an entree, not a side dish, of mental health advocacy. I use my performance, communication, and literary art skills to bring awareness about mental health and other topics. Therefore, whether I'm singing, speaking, or writing, it is my desire that my words will be melodic, just like music to your ears. Welcome to LLG. That's me, Lisa L. Gilliam's Random But Real podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this next edition of LLG's Random But Real. I'm your host, Lisa One Singing Lady Gilliam, or Lisa Gilliam, otherwise known as One Singing Lady. And today I have a guest that my cousin actually introduced me to. He has a number of books, and we're just going to listen to what he has to say. If I mess up your name, I give you permission to please say it correctly. So, Mahalaleel, is it Burbidge?
Oh, yeah. Well, Burbidge.
Okay, Burbidge.
But you
Okay.
you said my first name. Perfect.
Well, awesome, awesome. And people call you what? Yeah, I know you have a nickname,
Mahala.
Mahala. Okay, I just want to make sure. So, what would you like to be called for this purpose of the
Oh,
show?
oh, Mahala works fine. Beautifully.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, we're just going to get into it. I know, like we spoke briefly, and this platform is really a mental health platform, but it's all about helping people. And you were mentioning that you had several books. So, would you like to start with one of them or both of them? The floor is
Oh,
yours.
okay. Well, I have two books that fall under that category. One is The Everyday Person's Guide to Understanding in Relationships. Uh strategically named that so that I wouldn't catch any flack from professionals, you know. Uh, but it breaks down beneficial and non-beneficial behaviors when it
Hmm.
comes to interacting with a person in a relationship. So it's a volume series, and this first volume is romantic interactions. Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty down to earth, and it took some getting used to write it in a fashion that I didn't put a bunch of so-called dictionary words in it, but yeah, it's pretty short read, but it's content filled.
Okay.
Um,
And then
and
how
then
did you start to we'll go to the second book in a second, but how did you like get to the point where you wanted to speak about relationships?
just seeing it done wrong so often, you
Okay.
know, and searching for the right way to see people interact with each other. It's not the golden ticket, it's not you know the magic key, but it is better ways to interact from what I've seen done wrong for so long. Growing up watching people have relationships that the communication broke, and no understanding, because that's the key to it. Communication and understanding is the key to those interactions.
Okay. All right. And so, have you had examples in your own life of those types of relationships where understanding and communication were prevalent?
Yes, yes, and well, not prevalent successfully. Prevalent.
Okay, say a little bit more about that, please.
Yes. Okay. I had a relationship where I was in this relationship for 14 years, but the communication and the understanding in the relationship left us still. at the level where we were just friends, you know,
Mm.
just we barely knew each other, really. You know,
Wow.
I knew enough to be, oh yeah, that's my homegirl, and she knew enough about me. She'd be like, oh yeah, he doesn't like that. But that interaction to where you start to understanding each other and coexisting with each other didn't happen at all.
Wow. Yeah, that's, definitely a learning lesson. Definitely a
Yeah,
learning lesson. And that's the most recent book, right?
that's the book. Yeah, that's the most recent one I've finished. I was on writer's block for almost 10 years for that book.
Wow. Right. Sometimes our experiences can put a halt on things. So, and writer's block is real. And so, the other one you mentioned about, I know it has to do with worth. And what's that book?
Oh, it's called Know Your Worth. It's a it's a book that I wrote for women. It
Okay.
uh, it breaks down steps and different keynotes that I saw that most women in my life were missing, and watching them be mistreated and mistreating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it was it was a dedication piece to those women in my life that I've seen go through these things. You know, it seeing them be in relationships with people, not knowing what they're worth, defining themselves by the person they're in a relationship with, and not knowing that they have so much to offer and so much that they have just innately that makes them more important than just somebody to be a arm piece to someone, or someone's cook, or someone's footmaid, or handmaiden, or whatever that it whatever category they fell in that they shouldn't have been in, you know, to understand that their their worth places them at an equal footing with the person that they were in a relationship with.
Mm. Okay. And what has been the feedback on either or of your books?
Well, the Understanding in Relationships book hasn't been released out yet.
Okay.
Uh, a couple of my test readers said they like it. It says they said it's got nice content, and it was at first it was a little wordy, and I had to break it down from being so well, big words, and but the Know Your Worth, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. You know,
Okay.
yeah, I've recently had a person that I met who read it, and she told me she wished she would have had that in high school. It would have
Mm.
changed a lot of decisions she made in her life.
So have you thought about, like, speaking to teen women groups, or places where you could actually, based on the feedback, because yes, understanding self-worth, self-esteem, having all those things, they're tied into just like the fabric of a female for real. And so since you've seen some things and you've been able to share it, have you thought about other ways that you can kind of, help other people, like on a broader scale?
Oh, absolutely. I I started off a pilot program of it on Facebook Live,
Okay.
and I would just every Wednesday I had it to where I will break down different pieces of, well, it was more so with relationships, well,
Mm-hmm.
understanding and interactions. So I would just break down the basic elements of understanding and communication, you know, and how to bridge those gaps. But I've also wanted to find a way to have seminars to get my name out there so that I can get people to come to seminars or, like you said, speaking engagements to where I could speak to young women, and because it's very needed. Not saying that I'm the remedy, but it's, I see it's a need for it,
Understood.
and
Go on. I didn't
and
mean cut you.
oh, no, you're okay. And I hope that I can be some kind of medicine for it, if not a remedy. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that everybody has to start, somewhere with the plan, and sometimes it's observation, sometimes it's training, sometimes it's, it could be a plethora of things to kind of get us there. But it must have been something. Yeah, I don't usually hear a lot of people, a lot of men say, "Hey, I wrote this for females." You know what I mean? I want them to realize um, that they are, worth and worthy of all that God has created them to be, what they deserve, how they should be treated, etc. And so I commend you for even being willing to put to put that out there. So what's new on the horizon for Mahala?
Uh, New on the horizon right now. Just I'm writer's block again. I'm in the process of writing 4 books right now. One of which is called The Power of Love,
Okay.
and it's not love in a romantic sense.
Mhm.
It's love in the purest form of what love is. Love as our existence. Love as in what creation is. The whole existence of creation is love.
Okay.
And how our interactions supposed to be with each other. Love is, you know, and when I say each other, I mean like human to human, human to earth, and human to our environment. How we're supposed to have that kind of reverence for the things
Mhm.
around us, because you know most people don't understand that our existence and the things that we get and the things that we have around us are not things that we're entitled to. They were, you know, we exist in this world because we were put here to coexist with everything that we have. You know,
Mhm.
we were blessed with that. We were blessed with that innate ability to be able to coexist with all of the things that are around us on this wonderful rock that we've been put on. You know,
Right.
and we've made such a departure from what that love really is. People take the word and skew it into being possessive, or
Right. What they
um,
want it to be.
yes, and don't you know I love you? And no, because that's not what it's supposed to look like. Yeah.
Right. Right. It's not often taught, especially I think to our young girls. There are a lot of fathers that are not out of the house. I speak about that. A recent author myself, and that a lot of times your dad, your father for a female is supposed to be quote unquote like your first love. He's supposed to protect you. He's supposed to provide. He's supposed to show you how to be treated by a male. But a lot of females are missing that. So it's unfortunate learned behavior, but it is learned behavior. And you know, I did want to ask about your process. I don't know how. I was writing 2 books at one, and I had to give one up. So, not to say that I won't ever release that second one, but that's kind of difficult. How do you write multiple books at one time?
Well, I've noticed about myself that if if I focus, because I multitask better than I do anything singularly. So uh if I focus on something, it's kind of like taking the magnifying glass under the sunlight and it just get focused and focused to a point where it starts to burn it up. So when I get ideas, I write the ideas as I get them. And a lot of my process, I write outlines first.
Okay.
And you and usually, excuse me, that comes with the fashion of I get the title and I get the concept of the book, and then I write down all my chapter headings.
Okay.
So as my inspiration for each one comes, I just go to that one while I can't write the other one anymore.
Okay. Well, I wish you well in that process. That it seems I don't, everybody has definitely their different process, and that would be a lot for me. I do better. Just I'm a multitasker too, but I also understand that multitasking is not necessarily the best thing to do because you can't focus on anything well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're multitasking on all the other things, so something has to give. So at least you kind of
Yes.
say when I'm writing the other ones, is if I have a writer's block on this one, then I'm writing something else. So it's not necessarily simultaneously. That's good to know.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
was trying
yeah.
to
No,
figure
no,
out
no,
how to
no,
do
no. No,
it.
yeah, that would be chaos.
Okay, okay. That clarifies that. So is there? I know you said, did you want to talk about like what you do? I actually got a chance to see some of your, I guess, recipes. Do you want to speak about that too?
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm a certified chef. I have an associate's degree in culinary arts. Um, I wasn't gonna do it at first. It was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm good at it. I like it. But if I work in the field, I'm gonna hate it. But
Hmm.
due to life circumstances, I ended up down that path and working in the field. I didn't dislike it at all,
Okay.
but I did see what a whole bunch of people were doing wrong. I'm like, hey, this is not what they taught us. this is this is not how that's supposed to be. Why are you handling these people food this way? But yeah, but my recipe creation and my love for well, first of all, I suck at soul food.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened because my mom cooks soul food so well. My little sister, she cooks so well when it comes to soul food. But me, I
Not
cook international food. That's my thing, you
okay.
know. And I I think the first the first love that I found in food was Italian food. And a lady I knew gave me a book when I was about 13. And I read this cookbook, and through that cookbook, I wasn't looking at, oh, recipes. I actually studied those recipes as learning the different flavor profiles that were present in every last one of the recipes, the different cooking methods that
Mhm.
that that encompass that area of the world. And that's
So
been my approach to all the different regions that I've studied.
Do you want your own cookbook too?
I'm actually in the process of writing my own cookbook.
That's one of the four books.
There's actually number 6 that I forgot about.
Oh my goodness. You have to know all these things, Mahala. See, I'm gonna need you to write down, I don't know, the counterpart comes on me. And make sure that you have all your stuff organized so you can get it out there. Like that's how people get
Yes.
to know you and you know what I mean, be able to say, but that's a lot. 6 books. But yes, because you do have that desire to, or you like to cook internationally. I love Italian food too. Then you definitely it sounds like a good fit, you know what I mean, to be able to do that. So would you do, like, if you had the opportunity, a cooking show? Or have
I
you ever
was
thought about doing YouTube lives or something where you're cooking on them?
I was thinking about doing that. I actually was thinking about putting together a video series for YouTube or where I can instruct with different things, but I said I wanted to get my book finished first
Hmm.
so that I will have something to offer my viewers. And uh at the moment I'm not able to like I would be able to. I got sick, so now I don't really have the energy like I used to.
Okay.
But
Understood. Well, I hope
oh,
that the energy comes back and that you will be healed
oh,
completely, so that you're able to do what you need to do. And also just keep in mind that sometimes things go out of order. The book that I released was not the first one that I was writing. um my autobiography was supposed to come out first, and my book, um that release is about relationships, and that was not the plan. So just be open to the plan. You never know, it might be out of the order in the way that we see it.
I
You just never.
understand that totally. Like, because the book Know Your Worth, it's on Amazon, and I put it on Amazon. I wrote that book in 2 months,
uh,
but when I wrote that book, I was still in writer's block for the Everyday Person's Guide to Understanding a Relationship.
okay.
So I wanted that book to come out first because I also have another book that my first book I ever wrote was a book of my poetry.
Okay.
And I categorized those poems by their emotional evocation.
Okay, give me an example, or do you have one near you that you like to read or share?
I can find one real quick. Let's see. Actually, I don't have any on me at the moment, but I can freestyle one if you like.
I said any poem, doesn't have to be one from the book.
Okay. Um, I will call this one Life. In a moment we breathe, the next we know everything has been seen, but what will we show? The mind can fall as understanding gains. A life of love, education of pain, growing and showing, as we all know, forth to gain our degree, we must leave the port. For life is a journey, set sail on the sea, but life isn't easy. A
Very
gift
true.
to me.
Hmm. Very, very true. Well, I guess you could also be a rapper too if you wanted, huh? I
Thank
don't
you.
freestyle nothing. I can sing. I can do any type of run or something, but very. If I tried to rap, I write too. I'm a spoken word artist, but nah, we're not doing no freestyling because it's not gonna be. When I was younger, Lisa, Rise of Pizza, like that's gonna be goofy. That's the freestyle I do. No, but I could write. I pen to paper. I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be bomb, but it's not gonna be no freestyle. So I commend you on that one
Oh,
too.
thank you.
All
I've
right.
tried rapping. I've tried rapping before. Not good at it.
Okay. Well, you can't have all the talent. You know what I'm saying? You gotta share them with the world. Somebody else gotta be able to do it. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up. Thank you so much for being a part of this platform, LLG's Random But Real. Is there something that you would like to say to the listeners before we sign off?
What I want to say to everyone who ears hit this: love yourself, know yourself, and love the people around you. We've been placed here for that. We've been hugged by existence, and the Creator gave us what we He gave us so that we can.
True. True. And people can hear this when this airs. We pre record you all, as most of you all know, but on anchor.fm, Spotify, now also Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podvine, and some episodes will also be located on YouTube as well on my youtube.com/one singing lady page, and that's ONESINGINGLADY. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at One Singing Lady, and that's the numeral one Singing Lady. And please, please, please go to my website so you can find out how to purchase my music, spoken word, and book. It's www. So sorry about that, you all. We actually got disconnected, and I want to make sure that you can connect with me regarding the book purchase. And that's www.lisalgilliam.com. And so I hope to hear from you soon. Please follow, like, share, subscribe this podcast, and find me on social media at One Singing Lady. Have a great one. Thank you to Mahala Burbidge for joining the show, and you all look out for him. Sounds like he's going to be doing some really huge things with all of his books in the near future and or his chef skills. All right, have a good one. One Singing Lady out. Please note, any comments made on this LLG Random But Real podcast by myself, Lisa One Singing Lady Gilliam, or my guests are our own views. They are not to be made or determine an actual professional or in lieu of an actual professional. If you relate to any of the topics, please seek professional help. Contact a therapist, a psychologist, any other mental health professional, or if it's an emergency, please call 911. Thank you so much for tuning in.